Well, Robin and I have come out this morning, midday, to the Lake District, and we are climbing up King's How. Beautiful morning, bit dull however, but never mind, there's going to be a bit of cloud up there. I brought the Bronica, the entire Bronica outfit, all the lenses, backs, big tripod, food, water, and I'm absolutely whacked, so just having a quick break, pit stop before getting up to the top, which is sort of up there. Right, after a hell of a climb, we've got to the top. Got the Bronica set up with an 80mm standard lens, yellow filter, 30th of a second at f11. There's no real foreground. Beautiful background, but the light's just not there. It's just a bit yeah. It'd be nice if a bit of sun came through, but I've taken a couple of frames just so I've got something in the bag. Ow! Oof! Hi-oh, hope you can see me. Actually, Robin, can you just check if you can see me? And just employing my Sherpa, Robin. I'm all in there. Good, thank you, Robin. So yes, this is the camera insert I brought with me today, which is just a cheap one off Amazon, but it lets me carry my Bronica up hills, up mountains. So I'll just put it away and show you how it all fits together. So essentially I've got my camera with the 80mm lens and the prism finder, which slots in there like that. Put my filter holder around it. I've got a spare back, spare 120 back, two extra lenses. So I've got the wide angle and the telly, and it's starting to rain by the way. I've got my extender, I've got my light meter, I've got film, and it all goes in. It is starting to rain, so I'll be quick. It all goes in this insert here, and that slides in the bottom of my rucksack, proper rucksack this one. Proper Osprey 44 litre, and you zip it up like that and you're done. And that is a proper way of carrying heavy camera gear, and it means also that I've got my 35mm gear with me for later. If I don't want to carry this, I just slide that out and put the 35mm insert in. Fantastic. Well, while the rain is spitting away, I've put the camera back on the tripod and I have turned around and I have shot the Borrowdale Valley, which is a very beautiful valley. I'll just turn it around, hopefully you can still hear me with the microphones. 80mm lens again, 60th of a second, I've got f16 yellow filter, two frames. It's not special, but the lighting is nice and soft, and when you've yomped up here and done a hell of a walk, you may as well take the photo. Right, well, we're still on top of King's How, but we have walked down the other side and looking across towards Castle Crag. Now, it's absolutely beautiful view up here, fantastic. We have managed to line up some trees with the river and the distant mountains. So I've got my wide angle on for this. It's the widest lens I've got with me today, which is equivalent to 28mm. Yellow filter again, 30th of a second, f11.5. Just going to wait it out though, wait for the light to improve and keep shooting on this roll. Now fortunately Robin has brought his infrared converted XT2 today, and whilst we're waiting out the fairly dull lighting, he took a couple of shots with it, and I was amazed at how the trees in the foreground popped. So by a miracle I happen to have brought a spare back with me today for the Bronica, and I've also got some Rolly infrared, who'd have thought, eh? And my 720 infrared filter. So I've set up, I'm not metering as usual, I'm guessing at 2 seconds at f16 and 4 seconds at f16. I'm hoping that's enough. I'm going to wait till the sun comes out again, leave the infrared in and alternate between that and the XP2. Fantastic. Right, we just come back to the car park after slogging down the hill. Stopped at a cafe, got a drink, got some crisps. It's sort of mid-afternoon and the light's a bit, it's not bad, it's not great though. And we're just wondering what to do for the rest of the day. Probably going to hang around for a sunset, which will be very late. Get home at stupid o'clock. But there is more to be shot. There's a lot more to be shot, so yeah, watch this space. Well, we've come out again. I've decided to go a bit lighter, so I have brought the 35mm outfit, a camera body, 3 lenses, and a considerably less weight on the back, thankfully. Well, I'm very pleased to say that we're getting some beautiful light now over Castle Crag, which is over my shoulder. Fantastic, and we've got a bit of blue sky and fluffy white clouds. I've got the Nikon FE loaded with XP2 Super as I did this morning in the Bronica, and I'm rating it again at 250 exposure index, and I've got a yellow filter on my 75 to 150 Nikon Series E. Fantastic lens. This is the lightweight sort of pouch I'm carrying with me because I'm absolutely whacked after this morning and doing 4 miles up mountains. We've come out onto, I think it's King's Crags above Derwentwater, and the view is spectacular, and we have some nice light playing across the lake and the distant trees now. I've got my 50mm standard lens on the Nikon and a little yellow filter, 1/25 at f8.5, no problems at all, no foreground interest in there, tons of depth of field. Right, well I got some, I hope I got some great shots there. I was working between the 50mm on the tripod, then handheld, because the shutter speeds were adequate, and also the 28mm AIS Nikkor, which is a bit of a legendary lens, and I'm hoping it was captured sufficient detail to do the scene justice. Anyway, I'm just heading out over now, just turning around onto another little set of crags here to get a view down the lake, which you're just losing the sight of now. And the idea is I might be able to get a bit of a foreground with the windy river feeding the lake. So yeah, see you in a minute. Well, I have to confess, it's not been a particularly quiet last 3/4 of an hour. I've been clicking away like mad with all the lenses, mainly the 50mm and the 28mm, round about f8, f11, 60th to a 1/25 of a second. Reason being, the light is changing so rapidly that setting up has been it's been difficult, so I've had to work handheld largely. A few shots on the tripod though. Superb light, absolutely superb, and I have taken quite a few frames.
Okay, this isn't where we were before. We decided the light was too harsh, the sky was clearing up, so nothing to see. Drove a bit further down the lakes and nothing to see. The sun has gone, and yeah, that's it, it's a wrap. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, a little bit about the gear and carrying it, and the pros and cons of each system, but yeah, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you again on the next trip.